Vishwas, let me know once we are live. Huh?
We are actually live now, so we can start.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, good evening and a warm welcome to the second live session of the course Designing Learner-Centric MOOCs. So I'm one of the course instructors, Dr. Jayakrishnan. I'm joining in from IIT Madras, but with along with me, I have one of my other co-instructor, Professor Sahasrabudhe, who is joining from IIT Gandhinagar, and we also have the TAs for the course, Vishwas, Abhishek, and Sudarshan, who has joined us from multiple locations. So a warm welcome to all those people who are joining in YouTube right now. I hope, yeah. So this is the fourth week of the course, and if I understand correctly, the NPTEL registration forms for exams have closed yesterday. We have around 157 of you writing the exams for the Designing Learner-Centric MOOC course in the first slot, which is I think sometime in March, if I'm not mistaken. March third week or third week or second week, we are having exams for NPTEL scheduled, and we will see around 150 odd learners joining us, writing it from multiple locations. Dr. Samir, would you want to add something more to this?
No, go ahead. I think, yeah, we have been receiving, I have been monitoring the feedback on the Google chats basically.
Yeah.
So my point of view is coming from that angle. I also am getting messages about participants who are worried about exams, and some of them who are worried whether they will qualify for the exam and certificate and all that. So I thought of coming in here right now and then trying to address some of the pointers that are being raised. Yeah. So we are also joined with two of the discussion forum moderators. We have Abhishek and we have Sudarshan from Chennai. Sudarshan has been part of LCM group for almost 4 years now, I suppose. And Abhishek was participant last year, and he was one of the top performers, and therefore he has become the discussion forum moderator this year. So yeah, we will get some insights from the discussion forum, some maybe news reports from the discussion forum as well, because of they being there. And of course, Vishwas, who is the teaching assistant at IIT Bombay and who is actually kind of managing the entire orchestration part, like which assignments are getting released at what time and the deadlines and all the RQs and KQs being released on time are basically done by Vishwas at IIT Bombay. So yeah, Okay, so I think we have a perfect platform to start the
Yeah.
discussion now.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you, Samir. I think so. I'll basically start off with a brief summary of what we have done till now. Let me share my screen. One second. Is my screen visible to all, or is it taking
Not
time?
yet, actually.
Vishwas, can you do me a small favor? I think there is some problem with the internet connectivity at IITM. Can you just share the screen? I'll just tell you
Yeah, yeah,
when to move the slides.
yeah. Just give me a minute. Just give me.
Okay, so yeah, sure. So while Vishwas is sharing the slides for today's session, let me just give you a recap of what would learners have done for the last 4 weeks. So we started off somewhere towards third week of January, little before Republic Day, the week before Republic Day, and I think the entire content was on from January first week itself. So it was all about a basic intro about what is happening in MOOCs. Yeah, what all are required in MOOCs. So this was like a week zero content that we had shared, where there was a discussion between me, Professor Samir, Professor Sahana, and Professor Sridhar, where we were discussing how this MOOCs evolved. I mean, what led to the rise of MOOC, okay, or massive open online courses. Then in the first week, we looked at what all are the typical problems in a massive open online course from an instructional perspective. And I mean, we looked at several different articles, several different summaries, and most of these are would have come out between circa 2012 to 2018, which was the time when we were working on this content. And we looked at some of the important aspects, maybe in terms of how the content is created, how feedback is provided to learner, how interactions happen in discussion forum, and how generally, I mean, how do learners connect with uh, content outside the course and relate very much more, I mean, what you say, in more of a personalized format. uh, how this happens. So these were the four different axes that or the themes that we looked at. And for each of these, we found certain lacunae that has been reported both in terms of research and even from public fora like blogs, Quora, or several other kind of locations. What kind of feedback is coming? So the instructional design of a massive open online course, keeping in mind the diverse set of people and the diverse set of speciality that they bring in to the course. That is something very important that every course instructor or a course team has to think about before designing the MOOC. Equally important is to also understand the technology platform where you are offering the course, the limitations, the rules, frameworks under which that platform operates. And finally, uh, we also look at the kind of feedback that you get as a learner. So the positioning of this, the point of view, rather than from a course team's perspective, the idea is to shift your perspective in terms of a generic learner who comes into a course. What does he bring in? What all would he require to grasp the content, move forward? Where all should he scaffold it? These were some of the important components that we looked at. And we have the four main elements: the LEDs or the learning dialogues, LBDs or the learning by doing activities, the LXIs or learner experience interactions, and of course the LXTs or the learning extension trajectories, the four key elements of the LCM model that we presented. Uh, then we looked at, so the first was what this LCM. We gave you an overview of what the LCM is and why LCM is needed. Then we went in detail into the individual elements, learning dialogues. Then I think the third week was about learning by doing. And in this final week, we'll be focusing on the other two elements along with orchestrations. So learner experience interactions, learning extension trajectories, and of course, a little bit of orchestration. So
Jayakrishnan,
as yeah,
so I think slides are ready from my end also, but we can see the slide from your end, you as you have shared already. So we can continue with that also.
no, I'll stop sharing then. I mean, it is not visible for me.
Okay, then I'll share.
Yeah. So
Just tell me once those are visible for you. Okay.
yeah, it is visible. Can you put it in a slideshow format? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah. So yeah, so this is what we have, what you would have learned till now. And of course, there were, I mean, I'm hoping that the discussion fora with the various learner experience interactions that we had set up for each week would have been useful for you to get engaged with the course more, and also understand the various different aspects of LCM within the larger framework of the NPTEL or the Swayam platform, so to speak. Yeah, next slide, Vishwas. So to give you a brief understanding of who our learners are. So this is the frequency distribution of learners in terms of their age. So you could see that overall we have close to somewhere like 2000 odd learners this time, right, Vishwas? The total
1200.
learners is around
1200.
1200. Okay, 1200 learners, of which we see the age group between 30 to 40 being more. And this is expected because we expect a lot more of people. I mean, lot more of this particular course is primarily uh, catering to faculty audience in while creating their own courses. And hence the age group of 20 to 30 and 30 to 40, or that particular segment is expected to be higher. It's very yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised that we have around 100 learners from the 13 to 20 age group, which is also a fantastic thing to see.
I can just add there. Last year we had a student from standard 10th who
Okay,
participated in the course because he wanted to create his own YouTube videos
okay,
explaining how to code in Python. Okay, and he successfully completed the course. Mm, however, the I think the course certificate was issued in his mother's name probably because he didn't have a legitimate email ID.
yeah,
But I interacted with him. So I was pretty amazed by, first of all, the person trying to teach somebody something else at that age. Secondly, the topic he had chosen was also not very what is small topic. And the third part is that he wanted to better it by making it learner centric. So I think this was like a triple whammy for me when I came to know about this thing. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
yeah. So over the past, I mean, yeah, the past. So this is the, I think, the fourth offering of this course, if I'm not mistaken. And we are, yeah, and this is the fourth offering of the course, and we are yeah, each time we see a very diverse spectrum of learners. And yeah, and we always have this entire much diversity coming in, and a lot of discussions happen to it. I hope this time's discussion forum were also pretty useful. So the way we are connecting, so why are we showing this particular data and the various experiences from the course? Because one important aspect of orchestration is the use of analytics, right? One important part of it is to use analytics and connect it with other other pieces of this particular course. So this is the kind of learners that we'll be have. I mean that we have in the course. Uh, uh, Vishwas, can you do the next slide, please? Yeah, so in terms of their profession, so we can see that around 600 and a huge portion of our learners are faculty, which is expected. But you can see that there is a sizable amount of people who are students, which is again, so something that we typically try to do in each offering is try a little bit to adjust our offering, the course, either in terms of the discussions or the additional materials, so that it is consumable by a lot of you. So this time we have tried to include multiple different types of content which will be amenable to both students as well as faculty together. And this you could see in our LXTs. Some of the links we have updated, some of the, I mean, the more CS techie aspect of it, I think we have included in our LXTs in weeks 1 and 2. And we have also brought in some research papers, some important analytics, I mean, some important insights from research papers, which we have been giving even in our first offering. These has been added so that people who are interested, especially students who are interested, could understand the empirical foundations on which these kind of research results, etc., are communicated. So, so this is about the learner details. The next, can you move to the next slide? Yeah, and this is one of the most important statistics when it comes to uh, course assess, I mean, course engagement as seen from an instructor's eye. So what you see on the W 1.0, 1.1, etc. are the assessments. So basically 1.0 are the KQs or the knowledge quizzes. 1.1 is, if I'm not mistaken, it is the 2.2s, etc. are the LXI, the RQs. So the point ones are the AQs and the point twos are the RQs that we have. And this is the kind of submission. So right at week 1, we have around 276. Remember, we started off with 1200 learners, right? And of which we are seeing 276 or yeah, 276 engaged in week 1. And after that, there is a drop, and then it has been consistent at around 150. So if you look at that average, it is around 150. So 150 out of 1200 is typically 12.5%. So if you have actually looked into KT Jordan's that MOOC graph, you would see that somewhere about 10 percentage is the typically active engaged learners which are available in a MOOC right from 2012. So what we are seeing is this particular data is showing almost confirming to that particular percentage figure, which is 12.5. And of course, the number of learners who are doing exams is 157, which is slightly yes, just yeah, around 13%. So that's the kind of engagement, and this is typically, I mean, 12.5, 13 is a typical average that we have seen even across NPTEL courses when you look at it from an aggregate. So these numbers were pretty much expected, and yeah, no qualms about it. Yeah, I mean, so as a course team, what we would have to try is maybe improve it a slightly further. And for these 12.5 percentage who are active with us, we are trying to ensure that the contents that we provide, the learnings, the discussions, etc., that we have are more or less, I mean, what do you say, is personalized in some sense. Okay, so that's how the LXIs or the LXTs would work in this the whole point of orchestration. So I can already see that in YouTube, a lot of people are asking questions. So before moving into the questions, Professor Samir, do you want to put in any points at this moment about the course and the analytics that I have shown? Okay, looks like Professor Samir had got dropped off. Maybe what I'll do is at this moment I'll take questions that has been posted to us. I mean, we had floated and there were questions coming to it. Yeah, even yeah. So the first, and we'll try to answer most of those questions, as well as we will also take questions that have been posted by various learners. So I see Lieutenant Tushar Patle, Priya, Shivaji Chavan, Vaishali, and yeah, joining us in YouTube and asking us questions. And I believe already our teaching assistant, I think Shrunika and Sudarshan is already answering a lot of these questions in YouTube chat as well. So this is something that you would see in many of our live sessions. So it's not just the course instructor who is answering the questions. Anyone, even sometimes participants also answer. So this is the beauty of this massive open online courses, where knowledge can come from any point of any source within the larger group of course team. So let me take one of the first questions. So the first question that we have on the Google form is, can a participant still make it to the exam qualification by answering only 2 quizzes, the 2 weekly assignments available right now? So this seems to be a response to the extension in the exam registration form. So let me reiterate the NPTEL policy as far as exams are concerned. So NPTEL, what they at NPTEL, what we do is we look at best 3 out of the 4 weekly assignments. Okay, so every week there are weekly assessments. In designing LCM, one weekly assignment comprises of KQ, RQ, and AQ, the 3 different components, and you know the weightage for each of these, right? So we will consider this entire thing as one weekly assignment, of course, with the appropriate weightage. The best 3 out of 4 such weekly assignments is considered, and on an average, so on an average, you should score above 40. So if I were to convert this entire thing to out of 25, you should score more than 10 marks. So I think KQs are at 70%, AQs are at 20%, and RQs are at 10%. Vishwas, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're correct, actually.
I believe these, yeah. So these were the weightages for each of this. So if you have done very well in the KQs, AQs, and RQs for 2 weeks, then definitely you stand a chance, because we take best 3 out of 4 assignments. Okay, so the average score is taken over there. Let me look at another question that we have gotten. So I'll split between. So there are questions that have come in the Google form, and there are questions that have come that are coming live in the chat. Okay, so I'll split between these two. So the next question that has come is, like NPTEL puts up some stats on previous years in which MOOCs were offered and the course completion and certification rates. Where can we find year-wise stats for the courses? Okay, so okay, this is more in terms of analytics that you are asking. So for people, let me, Vishwas, can you go to nptel.ac.in website?
Means,
Yeah, share that particular
sharing.
website.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is see, NPTEL is part of SWAYAM, which is the larger umbrella project under which NPTEL is residing, and all the data, all the aggregate data is for public consumption. I mean, there is this entire set of data related to basic statistics is for public consumption, and you can actually see this over here. So there are so year-wise stats. I mean, we don't have a separate table where we maintain year-wise stats, but for each offering of the course, the important stats are available in the NPTEL website. So this is available at nptel.ac.in. So you have to go to the NPTEL website, and you see Vishwas, if you could share now. Yeah. So this everyone can do. All of you can go and do this, and you can check for each and every course. In fact, I think NPTEL has offered more than now unique courses is more than definitely more than 2000. But I think overall over from 2014 till 2022, we have more than 3000 offerings of I mean 3000 offering, including the repeat or rerun offerings. Okay, so that's that we have. So what we have done is we have aggregated data per course run. So for example, if you look at this particular thing, Vishwas, can you go to nptel.ac.in and start from there? It will be a much open a new tab, and so that they will be able to see from start. So go to nptel.ac.in. Yeah. There you have under programs, we have courses, right? NPTEL courses. So you can search for, so already our course cards will come, but independently you can search for a course, which is, I mean, Vishwas, you can type learner-centric MOOCs. Yeah, so the designing learner-centric MOOCs come. Now, if you click that, the previous tab, so Vishwas, you can go to the tab. Yeah, so the entire course content, the video content is available here. Whatever you see in week 0, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, etc. is available here. So if you want to do self-learning, this is a portal. So this is the NPTEL courseware, so to say. And in this, you can see something called statistics, which is the fourth tab over there. So yeah, course statistics total across yeah. So overall, we have 9,242 learners learning from us. 726 have enrolled for exams, and 550 have successfully completed the certified for the courses. The year-wise distribution is shown over here. Of course, if you are an NPTEL learner, you would know the meanings of elite, gold, silver, etc. So I hope you are able to understand the meanings of each of these different terms. Yeah, thanks, Vishwas.
They can also see the toppers list, and
yeah, for each offering of the course, you can see the toppers list. So this is right from 2019 till 2022. Everyone's detail is available over here.
yeah, I'll stop sharing.
Yeah. So I'll come back to how the regarding toppers, there is something more that we have to talk somewhere towards the end. I'll come back and connect over there. The next question that I have in the form, Google form, was if we want to create a short format MOOC for around 7 to what modifications or adaptation of the model course implementation, except advisable. So this is that from learners. So the question is, hoping to create a MOOC 7 to 10 days. So to know what kind of adaptations do they have to do, so that it becomes more amenable to those audience. So some initial thoughts from my side. I'll have my TAs, and of course the input from each of you in YouTube to add on to that. The basic fundamental principles wouldn't change. You need to have your learning dialogues, your learning by doing activities, your LXTs and LXIs in place. I wouldn't change any of those. But some specific things that you can think about is how many of these LEDs would be created real time. Okay, that would be something that you will have to take a call. So how many of which can be reused from earlier existing courses or already existing open source videos. Vishwas, I'm audible, right?
Yeah. Uh, for some time, you just
Okay,
switch off your video, and then later we can switch it on again. Huh.
sure. So one important thing when it comes to learning dialogues, when you are having a 7 to 10 day courses, already you are on a restricted time. So creating new content just for 7 to 10 days may be slightly time consuming. So what you have to do is a judicious balance of learning dialogues. Sometimes you can have sessions like these where the reflection spot will automatically come from questions, just like how we are now answering questions, right? So the reflection spot can come from these kind of questions, and that you can take and elaborate. So this would become a live learning dialogue, and the percentage of live LEDs, pre-recorded LEDs, etc., you have to keep in mind. The other aspect of 7 to 10 days, it's already very short and capsule. It's already very short and capsuled, and it becomes slightly intense. So the amount of learning by doing activities that you have for your learners, you have to keep a mind on that. So what is the right set of LBDs? And 7 to 10 days is a very short duration for generating a good cohesive group, because a good cohesive group takes a lot of time. So your learner experience interactions, you have to be bit more focused, ensure that there is a targeted activity where you are trying to bring all learners at the same time. For example, at the live session, you can have an LXI during a live session. So that could be one more important thing that you can think of when it comes to uh, a short duration move. Yeah, these are important things that I can immediately think of. Others, all of you, all those people who are there in YouTube as well as TAs, please think about it, and hopefully, yeah, if you could give answers. So I would first ask Vishwas, Abhishek, and Sudarshan to chip in with their thoughts, and we'll also collect some of the feedback coming from YouTube, and maybe we'll read them out to you over here. Yeah, Vishwas, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with the uh, thing which JK sir has expressed, and it is more specifically linked with the learners' requirement. If the course facilitator captures learners' requirement uh, very precisely before hand, then that judicious balance which JK sir has mentioned, that a balance of the LBDs and LXTs and the pace of it, so the cognitive demand of those resources and those activities can be calculated beforehand. So it may give a good learning experience for the learners. Yes.
Thank you, Vishwas. I'll invite Sudarshan to chip in with his thoughts. Sudarshan, your thoughts, 7 to 10 day LCM course.
Yes, sir. Practically, I feel yes, as you had elaborately told on which of the areas we have to focus on. Best way of learning this course would be LBD, learning by doing it. So
Hmm.
I personally feel that that is what I did when I was a learner. I created an LED in a small way that I could do, and shared with you the course instructors and the fellow peers, and learned from them how to work upon it and make a better LED. So the best thing would be to do and learn rather than focusing on marks, scores. Yes, it is important. Scores is important, but using this course to create a LED, to create a MOOC by ourselves is the ultimate aim of the course, I feel.
Exactly. Yeah, I think yeah, you have got it on point, Sudarshan. I think the larger purpose of this course is also for you to have a feel of how to do certain things on your own. I mean, maybe first time it may not work so well, but that is why we have a larger community of learners, and there is a big discussion fora also available. So it would be great if learners can use the power of the community to leverage their own course delivery or course design skills, and that's one implicit intention of the LCM course. Abhishek, you would want to put in your thoughts on a short term. What kind of changes would you do for a short term course which is obeying or adhering to LCM guidelines? How would you look at designing such a course?
Yes, sir. So I feel, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible, Abhishek.
Yeah, yes, sir. So I feel that the single biggest problem that will come with a short course is that it might not be that inclusive to learners who are slow. So I think that special, provision should be made to keep it inclusive in that way, so that even the learners who have joined in late or are slow can also, keep up the same pace as people who have been active in the course. So I think that is one challenge I would like to point out in this particular instance of making a short course. And I think, as Mr. Sudarshan rightly mentioned, learning by doing is one excellent way of actually, solving this problem of inclusivity as well.
Thank you, Abhishek. I'll wait for. So I'm opening up the floor for people from who have joined our live session. So I see we have I don't know how many people are watching this live.
Around
Let me just
18, except us.
yeah. So around yeah. So there are around 18 people who have joined live. So I would yeah, I would open up this particular floor now for people from YouTube to respond in YouTube chat. You can use the YouTube chat and respond to this question over there. So in your YouTube tab, you can see live chat happening over there. So the question that has been posed is, if someone were to create a 7 to 10 day version of a course, it could be any course. It could be programming course. It could be humanities course. It could be arts course, or any type of course. So how will the LCM principle be applied over it? And yeah, what all changes do you have to make? So this is the question that has been asked by one of your learners. I'll wait for your response. Please post in your answers in the YouTube chat. I'll read out some of those responses in this session. Meanwhile, I'll move into the next question that has come to us. The next question is, can a MOOC be created on entirely curated CC license content? I think we have been talking about Creative Commons license in during LXTs. And so the question is, can there be a MOOC created completely based on curated content? Technically, yes, it can be created, but please do note that the curated content can either be used as a LED, LVD, or LXT. There is one important component of a course, which is the LXI, or the learner experience interaction. So uh, to complete the course dynamic component coming in the course team, right? The only done. Yeah, we need a human. I mean, what do you say? We need to provision human resource of your as some educational way. Those TA are ensuring that comes release directions, etc. Related to assignments, those get sorted out. Vishwas and we have Natasha and Natasha, Irene, and few more of the discussion forum moderators whom you would see. So, for example, Shunika, who is been answering in some to responding to some then there are others you'd see when it comes to these are all they are also our specific role. They discount for XT. So there are roles and responsibilities that we have defined. And this is like that, right? We have around so you see that we have reached 10,000 plus 10 around 10,000 run to. We have been actively looking at developing a community around the LCM course. Now, this community initially comes in through so the primary way of I'm hearing a. I mean, is my voice audible? Vishwas, am I audible?
Not very much, sir. There is some break in the voice, sir.
Your voice was breaking. So can you repeat last 1 or 2 minutes content?
So, I mean, I hope you heard about the various aspects, the Creative Commons license part of it, right? That was audible, right?
Not sure actually.
Not actually, sir. There was a break in that only.
Okay. So I'll repeat that entire session. So I see that my video etc. are broken. So I'm switching off my video. Thanks ITB team for switching it off on my behalf. So let me repeat the answer. The answer to that question: can a course be completely created from Creative Commons? It is the answer is to a large extent yes. You will be still missing out on the dynamic part. The dynamic part is the LX size and the orchestration part of it. These two are very dynamic and it depends on the course run as well. So this you cannot replace with Creative Commons content. What Creative Commons content can help you in is LXTs for sure, LEDs possibly, and maybe some LBDs. If somebody has already formed questions and you have feedback, I think those could also be one more specific area where Creative Commons content can be used. Vishwas, this was audible, right?
Yeah. It is audible now.
Yeah. So now to connect it back to what we are doing in the course. So for every answer that I'm giving, I'm trying to connect it back to how LXIs or the orchestration is very important. And this comes in from, so if you look at LCM for the last 4 runs or 5, close more than 9,000 learners, of which at least some 10% have actually, 12% have written our exams, right? So the discussion forum moderation actually handle the offering of this particular course. So for example, if you see Sudarshan, he was a topper in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, 2019 February course, right, Sudarshan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. And Abhishek was a topper from the last offering, the 2022 offering of this course. And we have a strong, a small but strong community of these discussion forum moderators that we have been able to cultivate. And it is still a work in progress, something that we are opportunity for learners to be part of the subsequent offerings, and they can do more engagement with the current learners. So that's one specific thing that we definitely do as part of the course design. While Vishwas and Pratiksha, who are the teaching assistants from Educational Technology Department at IIT Bombay, they predominantly are involved in the content part of it. So ensuring that the content is correct, the releases happen in time, there are no queries related to the assessment questions. If there are any issues, rescoring, etc., happens. So that is a slightly more regular work where they continuously interact with the NPTEL team at IIT Bombay. So for example, setting up this session, ensuring that all of us get the meeting link, all of us are logged into this particular meeting. This is something that is handled by Vishwas and Pratiksha from IIT Bombay team. Whereas Abhishek, you have another person from okay, let me Shrunika, who is also answering in YouTube, if I am not mistaken. Then you have Irene, we have Natasha. All these people are answering questions in discussion forum, and we have at least 6 to 8 such discussion forum moderators, if I'm not mistaken, who are answering your queries on a daily basis. And this way the course team is a slightly larger team that that we you can look at, and these kind of things can happen only dynamically. Hence, use of content completely will not be, I mean, already pre-created. So if you have pre-created content, you can only give the information transmission that can be successfully done through these kind of pre-recorded or pre-created open source content. But the dynamic part where connecting with learners, it can happen only real time, and you need to work, you need to cultivate that base, you need to have more meaningful interactions, and you should develop, empower your learners also to step up to be part of the course instruction team. So this is one important aspect of LCM. Okay, so there is a question. I think I have seen this in the Google form also. I think Paurnima Dhume, she is asking how much time it would take for floating a course on Swayam portal. All the videos are required to be recorded before sending the proposal. Okay, so this is more of a process part of it. I think once you complete the designing LCM, one important aspect that you would be learning will be that how to create or do an instructional design for a course adhering to LCM principles. Now, Swayam is the national platform for massive open online courses in India. A Swayam is a larger project, and there are, if you go to the page swayam.gov.in, Vishwas, can you just open the swayam.gov.in page?
Yes, yes.
So Swayam, if you consider the larger, it is a multi-institutional collaboration. So there are 9 national coordinators. NPTEL is one of the national coordinator, and each of the national coordinator have their own uh, process through which they accept courses. So NPTEL, we work on called direct invitation. So it's always NPTEL inviting to offer courses under the national coordinator of NPTEL. The other national coordinators like CEC, UGC, AICT, etc., they have their own individual processes. So each of these national coordinators, you will have to Vishwas, have you shared the screen? I'm unable to view it.
Actually, screen is shared. I think Sudarshan, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. So screen is shared. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay, okay. So
Maybe I
Vishwas
can.
in swayam.gov.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
tell you the list
under
of coordinators.
yeah, go to national coordinators. Just go to national coordinators,
Yeah,
and
I
each
am.
national coordinator you see.
Yeah, I am on the national coordinators. So there are total 9 national coordinators. So AICTE, CEC, IGNU, IIM Bangalore, NCERT, NIOS, NITTR, NPTEL, and UGC. Those are 9 national coordinators.
Exactly. So see, you have to select that national coordinators page at the top above sign in.
Yeah, selected.
Okay, okay. So in each of the national coordinators, you can see the contact details of each of the national coordinator. You have to write to them. So select one of the. So select CEC for example. CEC. Yeah. So in the CEC page, you can see the contact details of CEC team. So you will have to write to them. They have their own processes for taking up courses. And the lead time also depends on, I mean, it depends on the coordinator, because a couple of things that you have to do. So there will be a standard proposal. I think at the proposal time, they would want some initial set of videos. So at least for NPTEL, the process is it's basically the proposal and not the complete video. We basically, so in NPTEL, what we do is we try to look at courses that are offered in IITs, the respective IITs, so which has been approved by the respective IIT Senate. These are the courses that we typically take. Each national coordinator have their own rules and what do you say, rules and constraints under which they operate. And yeah, you will have to basically contact them to understand yeah, what exactly are there the policies with respect to each of them. But yeah, you would need a I mean, I think the place where you would need to invest a lot of time would be to get the contact, understand the process, and then upload the proposal. You will also have to specify subject matter experts who could review your proposal, assuming that you are giving a unique proposal. So who can evaluate it? Of course, each of the national coordinator will have their own list of subject matter experts who would also evaluate the proposal.
Can I add something here, sir?
So yeah, yeah, Sudarshan, please go ahead.
Yeah, so as far as sending proposals is concerned, I got an opportunity to prepare proposal, AICT invited proposal, and there were specifications on the background of the agency, and we have to get attached to an university through which we can offer a course for credit transfer. That we have to facilitate. That is one.
Yes.
Two, yes, we have to prepare some of the videos as you said, and there are various specifications under which we have to prepare the videos, we have to prepare the course outline, course notes, till the assignments we have to submit to AICT. Once our proposal is approved. That is what I learned from that process.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Sudarshan. I think, yeah, I mean, this is valuable information because we are not, I mean, as a national coordinator, we are more aware of NPTEL processes. And typically when that is why another reason why we say, see, important part of a Swayam course is that there is going to be a final exam. And if you understand the latest regulations that has been released, 40% of the Swayam courses, I mean, you are out of your total credit, undergraduate or postgraduate, 40% of the credits can be availed via Swayam courses. So credit transfer exists between Swayam and respective institutions, and hence there needs to be a parent university. So it's not college; it should be a parent university who should be willing to give their credits for the course that you are applying. So if this particular, so for example, Purnima, if you are part of, sorry, Purnima, if you are part of a regular university, basically you also have to internally get approval that the credits of this particular course will be offered by your parent university. So though you are the course provider, your parent university is willing to transfer credits for any person who completes the Swayam exam. So NPTEL or the other non-NPTEL exams, non-NPTEL Swayam exams. Okay, so the proctored exam is a major component, and that QP also has to be provided. So the university has to be very uh, specific in, I mean, should give the particular credits and the equivalence and other things. So the other university should be able to take up, I mean, understand the equivalence of the course that you are offering, so that it could be easily integrated into their credit system. So this is very important. Thanks, Sudarshan. Thank you for that input. Uh, So there is a follow-up question someone has asked. Are there reputed bodies that offer services like vetting the MOOC, hosting on their platform, providing learners some certification to assist instructors who may not be able to approach Swayam? See, there are, I mean, so certifications, it depends, but there are portals like uh, Udemy, or there are a couple of other portals where you can offer certain courses. If you want to, Abhishek, if I'm not mistaken, you are part of a open education initiative for creating courses, right? Could you explain a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. So it's not exactly a platform where we are offering, but it is a platform associated with UNESCO's OE4BW program where I make courses from. But I offer
Can you
my courses.
expand the can you expand that acronym OE?
Yes, sir. So it is Open Education for a Better World. It is a initiative by the UNESCO for open source content, open source educational resources. So that's the idea behind it. So although we don't like display or offer courses on the platform given by OE4BW, we offer it externally and we associate it with OE4BW. So we use other open source platforms like Canvas, LMS, or Thinkific, which I'm using right now. So these platforms are something that come in handy for such open courses.
Abhishek, can you also share the website link? I mean, I know it is oe4bw.org. Can you just share your, Vishwas, can you just share their screen so that learners can see this particular initiative? And yeah, and what is the typical course offering process? Is it something similar to what Sudarshan said about AICTE?
No, sir, no. So generally the applications open up in October, and you have to put in your proposal. So it need not only be a course; it can be also any open educational resource, such as a book or a different kind of project or something like that. So these when these are accepted, generally they are accepted in the month of January, and from then on you are assigned a mentor who will be mentoring you throughout the project. And with this mentor, you'll be creating and offering your feet. For in my case, it was course. So my course was offered and created under the guidance of my mentor. So it generally happens that way.
Okay, perfect. So in case you want to learn more about this, the website for this particular initiative is OE for BW. So
For
open
BW.
education for as in number,
Open
yeah,
education.
for bw.org. Yeah. So this is what no Vishwas, go to OE for bw.org.
Sir, I think I'll put up the link of the thing in the chat so that Vishwa can access it.
No, OE for BW, BW, not DW. Yeah, yeah, that the first one. Yes, this is the one, right?
Yes,
Abhishek.
yes, sir. This is the one.
Okay, so this is also one more place where you can go and you can try offering. I mean, put up a project. Yeah, there is going to be a filtration process for the project proposals, right?
Yes, sir. But the problem with this is not a LMS platform in itself, sir. Like we have in Swayam or NPTEL platforms. This is not a LMS platform in itself. This is just a presentation platform. You have to offer your courses externally and present it in this platform. So this is not only for MOOCs as such, but this is for open educational resources in general.
Correct. Yeah, I completely understand. So there are a lot of, I mean, I think when we are talking of LXTs on the LXT, I think we were talking about OER Commons and other places. So independently, each of you can update, I mean, upload your open education contents in repositories like OER Commons. But in case you want to have, but I mean, every applicant, every selected applicant will have a mentor, right?
Yes, sir. Every selected applicant will be given a mentor and they will be placed under a hub. So this program entirely operates on UN Sustainable Development Goals. And depending on that, you'll be allotted
Okay.
either based on your topic or your region, you'll be allotted one particular, subgroup.
Okay, so something that you can clearly see. Vishwas, can you go a little bit down over here in the expertise and guidance, the set of people? So one of our LCM course alumni, Ajita Deshmukh, is listed in the list of people who are involved in the OE for BW program. Vishwas, can you just take a look at yeah, so yeah, you see Ajita over there, she's part of one of the hubs, if I'm not mistaken. Hub 2 is what I see. And she mentors educators in offering courses under OE for BW. So this is one more part. Yeah, so I think one of our LCM alumni is alum is already there over here. So any of you learners would want to reach out, understand the processes, please be in touch. So another LCM alumni and who is also currently a mentor, Abhishek, has already offered a course. I don't know when you are going to be a mentor in OE for BW, Abhishek, but I hope a first level conversation can happen with you as well, right?
Yes, sir. Yes. So this is my second year as part of
Yeah,
OE4W.
so okay, perfect. Yeah, thanks. So I think this is echoing in something that Hari Kadam has said. Maybe while doing your first time, MOOC creators can pair up with experienced MOOC creators and plan for short MOOCs. I think this would very well, I mean, this is exactly what this OE4 BW is addressing, right, Abhishek?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Abhishek. Yeah, so again, so this entire part of this, so I mean, if you look at the larger LCM community, we have people with very diverse expertise, who people who have actually tried out creation of content. So you already heard from Sudarshan about his experience with AICT. Now you have heard from Abhishek about OE4BW. There are a lot of others who are uh, doing yeah, so among the LCM community who are doing these short courses, workshops, a lot of different activities surrounding learner-centric MOOCs, and this is like a platform where we are explicitly trying to create a community, and that is one of the important aspect, one of the most important aspect, that if you can learn from LCM, also the kind of camaraderie that you can develop with other course, the peers in the course, like what you are seeing in LXIs, right? You see a lot of your friends, peers responding in the forum. So this gets more strengthened when these kind of partnerships come. And yeah, whom I mean, I exactly have the main mastermind behind the partnerships, Professor Samir over here, to speak a little bit more about the learner connect and the community part of LCM. Professor Samir, please go ahead.
I just wanted to share a interesting news that I received it just 2 days back. So, private university in Pune was trying to create some courses for Swayam, and they were applying, and they got in touch with us to conduct workshops for them. So our team did some workshops for them, and not only that, Ganesh Lokande, who is one of the instruction designer turned into a learner-centric practitioner, he became consultant to them in designing their courses. And the news is that two of their courses have been approved on Swayam in terms of management course. IIM Bangalore has approved their course curriculum, and now they are getting to start their recording of the MOOCs and all that. So the point being
This is
that
fantastic news.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So my point being that the community has a very interesting uh, option of applying things across the thing. Now their domains are different. They are from one is from management. By the way, Ganesh is a graduate in postgraduate in English literature, and so this only learner centricity approaches actually bring them closer, and this is how we can try out things. So in addition to that, because of some non-disclosure agreements that we have signed, but I can tell you this much that we are also consulting big private limited consulting companies to create their internal training material, which is learner centric. At least three companies that I have known, and there are some NGOs who are also trying to convert their ongoing face-to-face courses in high demand to be converted to an online version of a hybrid mode course for a flipped classroom or a hybrid mode course, and they are taking help of LCM practitioners. So I think the requirements are coming from all nooks and corners at least to us. So this should be interesting news for all of you.
Thank you, Professor Samir. And like every other teacher, I mean, we should be more proud when our students do much better than us, right? I mean, they should be doing a much better job than us, any of us, and that's what we would be more happy to see. And we have been trying very consciously to make sure that these kind of skill sets happen. And like some of you have been, I mean, I think Sudarshan has mentioned it once. There are a couple of others who have been echoing the same sentiments in the YouTube chat as well. I mean, the actual learning will happen when you start doing, right? So learning by doing is the most important part, and that is where you should use the connect that you have developed through LXIs, the peer connect that you have developed with LXIs. Maybe your peers can be the first level of your reviewers. I think that's a fantastic place where you can experiment out the LCM principles. And if you actually look at the course itself, I mean, we teach via LCM. I mean, that is a very conscious decision. And from week one onwards, all our principles have been, I mean, whatever principles we say, I mean, even before saying that principle, we would have a couple of examples for you to actually experience that principle firsthand. I think this is a very conscious choice as course designers from our side. And we hope that while you are creating your own courses, you would also adhere to those principles. I think that's the more important part. And there is actually a website that we are keeping called lcm-model.org. So if any of you are creating courses, if any of you are involved in content creation, have gotten approval, etc., please touch base with us through that website. We would be more than happy to connect you with other LCM practitioners and the larger community. I think that's the most important part. And of course, yeah, I mean, doing exams or registering for exams is an important part. Please do not worry if you have not already registered for the exam. Now, with NPTEL, another important policy change that has happened over the last couple of years is you can learn in one semester and register for exam in the upcoming offering of the course. So LCM course is offered every January semester. So the next offering will happen in January 2024. So if you forgot, or if you were not so sure about learning content in this particular course, please do not worry. Do all the learning, do all the assignments and everything. You can enroll. I mean, you needn't enroll, but you can register for exams in the next offering of the course. But the important part is you should have that minimum assignment marks. That 10 marks out of 25 has to be there. If not, you will have to re-enroll in the course, do all the assignments, make sure that you have average 40, then only you will get certificate. Otherwise, just with the final exam, you will not get a certificate. So please do make sure that your average assignment score is above 40, so that you will be in a good place, I mean, a good shape to write exams whenever the course gets offered the subsequent time. So I'll just turn on my video for a minute. There doesn't seem to be too much of questions. Okay. There is a
Your audio
question
is not clear.
which was
It's lagging.
on so there
So which
is
was,
a
if there is any other question on the chat,
question that has been asked by Natasha. Considering that NPTEL is one of the oldest provider of MOOCs in the country, would we be correct to assume that the first okay, 1 minute is audible? Yeah, the video has some issues.
Yeah.
I think Sudarshan and would be correct to assume that first LCM MOOC was also offered on NPTEL in 2016.
Vishwas, can you read out the question?
Considering that, am I audible? Yeah. Considering that NPTEL is one of the oldest providers of MOOC in the country, would we be correct to assume that the first L MOOC was also offered on NPTEL in 2016?
Yes, yes. I think we are not very sure whether this was the first L MOOC, as I don't know their definition of what is the L MOOC. I hope it is learner-centric MOOC, or maybe I don't know how to, because there are C MOOCs and there are X MOOCs which I know about. L MOOCs is something new that we will start off probably. But Yes, there are experiments done in different pockets. So I am aware of people having learning dialogues instead of monologues. I have seen people having good activities. They may not call it LBDs and they may not call it LXIs and all that. So it's just like the nomenclature was used first time in this MOOC. So that much I can agree to. But I think the ethos is used by many people. Also, not maybe in all four parts, maybe in certain parts. So they may have just different type of videos and so on and so forth. So yeah, I think entire MOOC having all the possible learner-centric options in each of the typical word, that quadrant. I think yeah, this must be the first ones. Is there any other question, or we can?
From the Google form responses, there is one still unanswered question which is regarding LBD. So I'll summarize this question. In what case we can use LBD as a summative assessment?
Yeah, LBD is a form of assessment, and mostly it is learning by doing, which is clubbed with a LED. So typically it is designed as a formative assessment. However, the same question asked at the end of the course will definitely become a summative. There is no such thing which is stopping us from calling LBD as a formative assessment element only. So there is nothing of that sort. But yes, it is actually the placement of that. Ideally, we believe that, in fact, we had a very famous sentence like, I think what is that? Keep your keep your quiz questions kind of, don't keep your quizzes for the final paper. Like, use them in between. So we used to say that when we were designing LCM. JK is back. So yeah, if you remember, we used to use this sentence a lot. The question is about, is LBD a summative assessment idea, or a formative assessment? Can it be used as a summative idea?
I mean, so I think Sahana is already addressing this in one of the LBD videos. But yeah, my take again. So, like what Professor Samir was saying, I mean, you should not put assessment to the end. I mean, that defeats the purpose of assessment, because see, there is assessment of learning which can happen towards end of a module, which can happen towards end of a course. But the larger purpose of an assessment is assessment for learning. And this is where we come to the point of view of learner. If you are a learner and you are being assessed, when do you want to get feedback? When do you want to know whether you were correct, where you were wrong, what kind of feedback can help you in improving yourself? I think that's the larger purpose of education itself, isn't it? So this assessment for learning, and this is the whole idea behind learning by doing. So learning by doing primarily is a formative assessment, but it can also be used as a summative assessment. Nobody stops you from using it as summative assessment. But when you have such a large platform, such a large opportunity like a MOOC, why should you wait for end of a course to get a feedback, right? As a student, you should have more frequent opportunities to get feedback about various different aspects of the course. I mean, see, it can vary across a different kind of content, different kind of offering that you have. But the more you are using LBDs for formative assessment, the better the learning outcome of your students would be. And that is what learner-centric MOOC always exhorts on. That ultimately it is what is the learner getting out of it, right? I think that's one point that LCM says. And before I got cut off, I think Professor Samir, did you answer that question whether the first LCM MOOC was offered in NPTEL or not? That was a question. And because I am sitting inside NPTEL, it will be so wrong for me to answer that.
I answered, because I don't have a real proof of like which one was the first LCM. But I said, like, there could be people who have done it in pockets. Like, there
Yes.
could be LEDs in some courses and LBDs in many courses. Actually, LBD is not a very new invention as such. LXIs, I'm sure not many people must have done. But LXTs, again, a lot of people must have provided reference material for consumption. So yeah, if you ask like all four quadrants addressed in a single MOOC, probably then LCM will be the first course. But then, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So there have been previous avatars of LCM itself, even before.
But yeah, not on NPTEL. So yeah, we are. I think we lost him, right? Okay. So let us close the whole thing now. It's already 6:20.
Yeah. We can conclude actually.
So we have addressed all the questions which were asked. So yes, I think all those people who are now preparing for the exams will probably have one more just before the exam to refresh your memory probably if required. And otherwise, we are definitely on the discussion forum to answer your questions. I am really happy to see Sudarshan and Abhishek here, who has been literally guarding the discussion forum like anything, and any post seen there is never going unattended. So yeah, we are there. We will try to be there till your exams are done. And yeah, let's see. So please post this
There is
video
one.
in the course content as a YouTube live session, and even the last one, and maybe send it in the announcements next time that these two videos are available for FAQs.
There is one info item which is remaining in the form as well as in the chat, YouTube chat. So Sidhu has posted that question 2 of KQ for week 4 is not showing multiple options. If and it is said or intended to take a multiple options. So if any technical error is there, Sidhu, we'll sort that out and probably we'll discard that question from grading if any technical error is there. Okay, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, actually, Vishwas was the only right person to answer it. So you have done that.
Exactly. I would not have uh, notes. So that's why I said there is a operational question in the Google form. And so there is one question on what are the prerequisites for the preparation of an LCM. I think, I mean, one simple thing that I would say is you need a lots of time for brainstorming and designing what each of the modules, the ideal length, the type of content, what kind of feedback should go. There should be enough preparation time for you to at your end while doing an LCM. This is very important. So Samir, you want to add something more specific to content creation, maybe?
So I think most importantly, I would recommend to go piecemeal, in the sense start with elements and then just connect them and collaborate. The two things I would definitely say. After experiencing so many MOOCs, I have realized that it's not a single person's cup of tea at all. You need to collaborate with people who can contribute to it. That is number one. And second is you have to always start at the small elements first. So start with like maybe creating learning dialogues or creating LBD activities with constructive feedback and so on and so forth. I think this is my take on it, how to go about. So prerequisite, yeah, they are all available on Swayam website in case you want to do that. But in my opinion, I think that takes time. The most interesting part would be you start practicing at your level first of all. There are so many avenues where you can actually push it. So prerequisites change for every avenue. You go to Coursera, they will have a different prerequisite. For Swayam, there is different. For Udemy, Udacity, and Future Learn, everyone has a different prerequisite. So there's no point in looking at that. But each and everyone will definitely appreciate your efforts in learner-centric approaches that you have applied in this particular thing. So if you have even two LEDs to show them that, okay, this is how I'm going to create videos, I think that will speak volumes as against to just saying that, okay, I want to create a MOOC. So I think my answer would be just get your hands dirty. That's it. So in fact, if you are
Exactly.
creating something, please let us know during this course. We would like to examine them, and if found appropriate, we can actually feature them on the LCM website also as examples. We would appreciate examples from various other domains also, like humanities or design or social studies or anything. So that is our
Medical.
appeal.
Medical studies. I mean, we have doctors and I mean I mean the profile of our LCM participants have been so diverse that you would in I mean undoubtedly get one good peer reviewer from any of the past LCM pass out. So that is something that you can count on when it comes to creation of the larger I mean the larger course. I think you would definitely get good guidance from the alumni network of LCM course takers. So I think we have addressed most of the major aspects of week 4 live session. I mean, though there were only few members who have joined us live, but I think the last 1.5 hours, I didn't know how the last 90 minutes were spent. So yeah, I mean, it was such great fun interacting with all of you as always. I hope, yeah, I mean, the coming days you would complete the course in its entirety, and all those who are appearing for exams, all the very best. I know there is a 4 week gap between now and the exams. At least for the exam registered candidates, Vishwas, can we try arranging a small session, maybe 2 weeks from now, where all our LCM alumni also come over and they speak about exams, NPTEL exams, and what they should focus. It need not be from an exam perspective, but more from the learner-centric MOOC
Yeah,
perspective.
we'll try.
Sure. So yeah, so this is something that we will try for all the exam registered participants. There are only 157 of them. So hopefully we'll be able to set up some small session for all of you where you can ask your doubts. And of course, rather than us instructors and the TAs, it would be the past LCM course takers who would be answering most of your questions, because I mean, yeah, this is one more place where you can find good points of connect and interaction. Okay, so I think yeah, so we have come to around 1.5 hours, which is slightly extending our live session time. So thank you all for asking all those good questions and very thought-provoking questions. And thank you to Abhishek and Sudarshan who have joined us live in the WebEx, and also to Shrunika who has been answering in the YouTube chat, and all the other discussion forum moderators who have been doing their job fantastically well inside the courses. So yeah, that's pretty much it from my side here at IIT Madras. Vishwas, you want to add any other announcements,
No,
operational
no, no,
announcements from your end?
no.
Okay. So maybe then we can close the session now. So yeah, for a minute, let me just turn on my video. Sudarshan and Abhishek, if you could also turn on your video so that others can see the people on this side. Abhishek, Sudarshan, are you there? Okay, looks like they are not. Yeah, so that's Abhishek for you. Hey, hi Abhishek. Hi Sudarshan.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Yeah.
Very
So
happy
yeah,
to
so
connect with
these
you, sir,
this
after a long time. Very happy to see you.
yeah, pretty long, pretty long. Yeah, yeah. So these are yeah, this is us from the LCM course signing off on the I mean the last interaction session of this course. We hope that all of you have been able to benefit from the information that all of us shared uh, during this session. And yeah, looking forward to seeing a lot more of you write the exams and be part of this community. I mean, we want, instead of you sitting on the other side in front of the YouTube, we want you to come here on this side where you are joining with us and doing sessions with the learners. So looking
And
forward to
this side is more fun.
seeing many of you on this side of the exactly, this side is more fun. So yeah, so this is so this is the right note at which we can actually stop. So thank you for all the team from IT Bombay for setting up, the technical team from IT Bombay, the NPTEL team at IT Bombay who has facilitated this session, all the members over there, big thanks from the LCM course team, and yeah, looking forward again for more such interactions in the coming days. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye, sir. Thank you. Bye, Abhishek.